Let's take a look at some other information here, evidence that having a preconceived idea of evolution will totally override all the data and logic that comes in from any branch of science. Um, Look at this, a little genetic analysis of sweet potato DNA has totally overturned in people's mind the idea that Polynesians actually made a ocean expedition to the Americas. Look at their genetic data suggests that sweet potatoes got to reach Polynesia 100,000 years ago, long before humans were there. And so this is totally based on assumptions that the mutation rate, the change rate of DNA in any living thing is actually known. Not just known now, but known in the past. If you give them 100,000 years, I'm only giving them 6, but yeah. And look at what it says here. That means the plants must have crossed the ocean on their own. Must. Okay, they've decided something's fact based on an assumption. This is the feet of clay thing going on. Look further here. Now, the fact, this actually puts doubt on something that made a good sense before, but now it won't because they think that any evolution assumption overrides fact, data, and logic. Um, Now they're finding that there are differences between the different strains in the DNA of the sweet potato, and they got an original sweet potato that Captain Cook's expedition collected from a long time ago from the Polynesian Islands, and that's really data, and they are genetically different. Now, then this person here from New Zealand says, well, it could be true that their theory about the Polynesian trip is right, but they need enough data to reject. It's not enough data to reject human mediated transport, although that's not what the headline says. It's unlikely that it would have been domesticated in different places and still look the same as they do, adds an evolutionist. They're the ones that muddy the waters always, and we're trying to discuss that. They say, oh no, it's got to be evolution. But look, here's some real hard science, not based on theory at all. The Polynesian word for sweet potato, um, ku'umala, is similar to the the Quechan people in the Andes Mountains, kumara. So there is a linguistic link that is evidence that people introduced the tuber to the South Pacific, says anthropologist Seth Quintus of the University of Hawaii at Manoa. That actually is data that can be compared, and then you can interpret the data to make inferences that have solid teeth to them instead of being uplinked to some kind of cloud in the minds of people who have sold themselves scientifically to the evolutionary posit without putting it through any kind of filters, because that's what everyone expects you to do if you want to keep your job in science or education these days. But that doesn't make it true. You keep thinking.